Hi everyone, my name is Max Wild, Ableton-Certified trainer and instructor at 343 Labs in Berlin. 343 Labs is a music production school in New York City, Berlin, and online. And in today's tutorial, I am going to show you how to use syncopation in your productions and how syncopation is a very powerful tool to create rhythmic variety, to create excitement. First of all, it's important to know that you can actually create syncopation not just in the drums, but in every in all of the song elements. So also in the bass, in the chords, and in the melodies. Let's start by taking a look at this very simple drum beat. Let's just take a listen. We've got some drums, a pad, and some chords played by the piano. All right, so nothing crazy here. We've got a kick, we've got a clap, and we've got some hi-hats. So when we talk about rhythmic subdivisions and kind of the different types of beats, we talk about strong beats, which are the beats that fall right on the beat. So beat 1, beat 2, beat 3, beat 4. And then you have the weak beats, which are the beats that are played, or the notes that are played kind of in between these strong beats. So the second 16th, right now we have a 16th note grid. The second 16th note, the third 16th note, and the fourth 16th note are all considered weak beats, and they can all create syncopation. I'm going to show you how. So let me take this sound, and I'm going to show you a very typical type of syncopation using the what is sometimes described as the dotted eighth note rhythm. Now, this is an eighth note, okay, and because it's two 16th notes, and if you take so a dotted eighth note, first of all, a dot after a note means that you take half the value of that note and add it to the note. So if you take half of an eighth note, that would be a 16th note, and you add it to the eighth note, and that is a dotted eighth note. And it sounds like this. If I just duplicate that a few times. You've probably heard that a thousand times. Now I can also express it like this as a 16th note with two 16th note rests. Sounds exactly the same. And now what I can do is I can actually shift this whole rhythm by a 16th note, and it'll still sound really good because it's a self-contained rhythm that is going against this 4 on the floor kick. So that's what's creating the syncopation. It's this second rhythm going against the main rhythm. Let's move it over by a 16th note. Still sounds good. Let's move it over by a third 16th note. Sounds good too, right? And then if we go to the fourth 16th note, that's pretty much like the same rhythm as we had in the beginning. Now, what I could also do is I could start again at the beginning, and I could just move some of these 16th notes around kind of to different places of the beat. And that would still be considered syncopation. Could move this 16th note. All right. Another thing I could do is if I go back to this original rhythm, is I could extend that by duplicating this bar and taking this dotted eighth note idea and just extending it. And this will create a rhythm that goes over the second bar. So it kind of blurs the beginning of the second bar. Check it out. All right, so that's a really effective tool and rhythmic technique to be used in the drums, but you can also apply that to the bass, the chords, and the melodies. So let's check that out in the bass. Now, when I'm using syncopation, I want to be careful not to use it everywhere at the same time, because otherwise it'll just get a little confusing. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to deactivate these notes. And I'm going to create a syncopated bass line. So this little section of music is in the key of E minor. So I'm going to find an E, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go play a dotted eighth note rhythm. So play a 16th note, 2 16th note rest, 16th note, 2 16ths rest, 16th note, 2 16ths rest. And let's do one more. See what that sounds like. Yeah, sounds pretty cool. Actually, my favorite placement of this particular bass line would actually be starting on the second 16th note. And then let's check out the third 16th note. As you can tell, they all work. So it's just a question of what your personal taste might be. For me, it's here. So I'm going to stick with the bass line right there on the second 16th note. I'm going to head over to the chords now. And for the chords, all I'm going to do is I'm going to take these piano chords and select all of them. I'm actually just going to take this clip, why not, and paste it into the stabs. All right. So I'm going to show you how to use syncopation here. I'm going to make sure my 16th grid is selected. Select all the notes and shrink them down to 1/16th note. Now I'm just going to make that same exact rhythm. 1/16th note, 2 16th notes rest, and then just repeat the pattern. And I might as well keep going, right? I'm just holding Option and dragging in Ableton Live to duplicate these notes. All right, let's see what this sounds like. Great. Now, just to prove my point, I can move these over by a 16th note and they would still sound pretty good. All right, or move it over by one more 16th note. So get to my 16th note grid. And move them over to the third. Yeah, I kind of like that one. I think I like that one best. Now, if you wanted to add a lead, what I would recommend doing is you could actually just incorporate this exact rhythm and play with the chords. So just grab that top part and drag it up. And I'm going to do the same thing here. Drag it up. And take this one. And finally, these notes. All right, let's check that out. All right, I got a nice little bit of kind of polyrhythm or syncopation inside of the syncopation by having these two rhythms not line up exactly. Creates an interesting texture. It's not what I wanted though. So this top part is my lead part. I could also put that on a different instrument if I wanted to, or I could keep it with the chords. So yeah, there you have it. One final thing that's really useful, this is a feature in Live 11, which is the software that I'm using right now, is if you want to see how your rhythms line up and how the syncopation is falling, you can actually select 2 clips and then hit fold, and you'll be able to see exactly, you'll be able to see both clips at the same time. So you can see that the bass is starting on the second 16th and the chords or the stabs are starting on the third 16th note. So if you're trying to sync them up together, you can see exactly where that's happening, or if you're trying to have them go against each other, you can also see that. I could also add the drums to that, so now I can see the kick, the bass, and the chords, or the stabs, all at the same time. So there you have it. That is syncopation, a rhythm that goes against the main rhythm of a section of music to create excitement and create energy. And I showed you the dotted 8th note rhythm, which is a very, very common rhythm in electronic music, but syncopation could be any type of rhythm that goes against the main rhythm. And you can use syncopation in your drums, you can use syncopation in your bass, in your chords, and in your melodies. You know, always use your ear when you are using syncopation, because you don't want to overdo it, but you do want to use that kind of as a spice to make things a bit more interesting. So I hope that was useful. Experiment and see what you like, see what you come up with, and thanks for watching.